Finally, at the end, people. Finally, at the end, after six of the most wasted time, so-called issues of an event I have ever seen. I've covered every issue of Dark Crisis, now called Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it has never felt like an event, ever. It's dragged along pathetically, trying to make it seem like, you should be interested in some of this crap, but it's never worked. Ever. It's always felt ridiculous, foolish, and just pathetically put together. The stories made no sense. The so-called big battles didn't happen. Storylines that should have actually been important didn't. And the worst of it all is that while this big event that was supposed to cover all and see what's going on, everything else was moving along at its normal pace. In DC, all the other books were running like normal, and all of this, none of them were good, but they were running along like normal. So this event was just pretty much a waste of time. But we finally get the final issue, number 7. So let's go through it and see just how badly Dark Crisis continues to be. Let me start off with this now. Nightwing is having some inner monologue with himself about something, darkness and light and some crap that people are supposed to be hearing about. Meanwhile, Slade, who's now possessed with the great darkness and is spewing out black chains all over the place, is taking on the rest of the Justice League, and all of them like they're apparently nothing, while there are some members of his dark army still going on, because remember, Pariah was killed last issue. You build him up just to get rid of him because he was a waste of time, and now you have Slade doing some crap. I don't know. Nightwing is going through, like I say, going through monologue, and then he and Deathstroke come face to face, and Deathstroke telling me it was always going to come down to you and me, kid. But if you were going to set up a big showdown between Nightwing and Deathstroke, that's something people would actually want to see. You didn't need an entire event that never felt like an event, that never made any sense, that wasn't actually an event to begin with. It was just another pathetic rehashing of Crisis on Infinite Earths that didn't actually work. At some point, DC needs to come to the realization that they can't keep doing this shit because people are seeing truth and it's just getting ridiculous at this point. So they have their little talk while the rest of the Justice League is fighting off the Dark Army, and you're wondering to yourself how any of them are actually still alive going after this Dark Army, because you have Doomsday, you have Darkseid, who just one of them is more than a match for the Justice League and could do terrible damage, but you have all of them together now and somehow they're still around. Again, no build up for nothing, but what does it matter? And then, Slade goes on with the same kind of crap that Pariah was talking about, a different way. He's all about how, it's like the rest of our lives, pointless. Even if I kick the bucket out there, the darkness will find a new home. Nothing can stop it. So Grayson's all, why did you do this? It's so unlike you. How much of this is you and how much was Pariah's control? Basically, Slade's whole thing is that he is controlling the great darkness, when he wants to wipe out everything to spare himself and the children and all of them suffering in the future and all kind of crap, even though he's responsible for all the suffering he's put on his children. But whatever you could see about that. He and Grayson are having their whole thing there, and he's telling him that you're right, Pariah showed me that we're all better off in the dark. That's why I'm shutting it all down. No more hurt, no more pain for anyone. This mercy killing will be my legacy. And there's no build up for any of this. Nothing. You didn't deliver this character to make it seem interesting in what they're doing at all. This doesn't sound like something Slade Wilson will do. He's always been a calculated, careful man who does what he has to do. If you're going to set up some sort of thing between him and Nightwing, you could have had it like, maybe he has a he has some client who wanted something with Nightwing, and they have to have a big showdown. Maybe he kidnapped a student from Titan's Academy, or maybe he kidnapped Nightwing and they have to go and find him, or something happened. Something to build up to a battle between the two of them. It doesn't need to be an event. You could have just told an actual story that actually had the elements of beginning, a middle, and an end. This never started. There is no middle point, and this is supposed to be an end but was that end to what? You haven't told anything of any meaningfulness at all. So they're trying to figure out how to take down Slade and the Dark Camel and this, and then Robin shows up with Justice League Incarnate, because why don't we keep having as many different multiversal versions of everybody as possible? That's not going to get sickening at any point in time. And apparently Dr. Light has some connection to the to the darkness, the same way that Pariah did, and she's about I absorbed the light that created the multiverse, and I believe I can use it to illuminate the darkness. But they already have some people trying to stitch back together everything, because remember, all the infinite Earths are back, and the great darkness is kind of tearing through all of them, so they're trying to fix it. So the entire Flash family is attempting to use the Speed Force to bridge the gap between all these different worlds. How does that happen? How does that work? Well, we never know, but we're just supposed to accept the fact that they could apparently do that. Whatever. So Dr. Light decides she's going to go and help them, and if she joins her light with the Speed Force, that should be enough to stop them, right? Meanwhile, Slade is still on a rampage, possessed by the darkness, and that's when Black Adam flies in to start attacking him. And they're all battling on both fronts, and then Black Adam decides, let's go for a Hail Mary and give everybody a portion of his power. Wow. Never seen that before. That's completely original. Oh, nobody's ever done that whatsoever. I mean, this would have been a really cool thing to have done if you had some kind of build up to it. But once again, this is it's kind of like, okay, Superman already had his multiversal energy form kind of thing. Wouldn't that have been a better thing for him to distribute to everybody, instead of Black Adam giving everybody a bit of his power? I mean, it's not like it's going to turn the tide over anything, but he's done it for some reason, and that leaves him powerless now. But that apparently gives everybody else a big electric boost, so they could keep fighting off the Dark Army. How they're still alive, once again, I don't know. I really don't know. But in doing so, he stripped Slade of the Great Darkness, and it decided to find a home in Nightwing. Yeah, that will cover with Nightwing glowing kind of thing. Now starting to make a little more sense as it goes along. Alright, anyway. So the multiverse is still being torn apart, and Slade and Black Adam are supposedly fighting, while Dr. Light joins up with the Flash family, and they're able to merge their speed and the light together to fix the multiverse. Again, how does that work? They don't really explain it. I mean, Dr. Light gives some speech about how Pariah felt what the Monitor gave him was a curse, but I saw it as a blessing. Pariah and the others before have failed to save the infinite Earths because they wanted to control them, to find perfection, but perfection is boring. The multiverse needs to be free, to be infinite. So all the infinite Earths are back. Is that supposed to be of any concern to anybody? No. Nobody's interested in DC's infinite universe. Again, your infinite universe got so big before that you end up doing the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths thing to shrink it down to a certain number. But you've brought them all back. And nobody's interested in finding out that, in one world they have dinosaurs as the Justice League, and next world you have robots as the Justice League, and next world you have this, we have that. Nobody's interested in any other. People just want good, solid stories told about the characters that they like and enjoy. I've said before, I have no problem with a multiverse story. I have a problem when it won't end, and that's what they're doing. tell one story that's really good and leave it me. But you just keep coming back and back and back and back, and you brought back all the Infinite Kurosaki. This is just another rehashing of what they done, and they tried to do this whole multiverse thing in DC probably about 4 or 5 times by now. So they did it, and it's stable. The multiverse and powers are back, right? And then the Dark Army just vanished. They just literally vanished. That's it. Like the Dark Army that apparently should have killed them all instantly long ago, because they had some heavy hitters on it. Because I don't know, I'm seeing Yara Flaw apparently trying to drag Doomsday away, and I think Hawkgirl is doing a drop kick with him, and I don't know how you all are supposed to do that. And John Kent is giving Darkseid a once over, or that could be Superman, even my power punch. I think these are people who have literally wrecked your entire life single-handedly, and they're apparently so weak now that you're beating the crap out of them. But like I say, they just vanish. They just disappear and go back to wherever they were. That's the end of it. Way to waste everyone's time for all of this, yeah. And then at the end now, Young Justice and the rest of these other losers show up, and whoa, what did we miss? Like, anybody supposed to care that you weren't there? No, nobody cares you weren't there. We know what you were doing. It wasn't good. But you just showed up there, and whoa, what did we miss? What is interested in you being there or not? Meanwhile, Slade is beating the crap out of Black Adam, because Black Adam doesn't have any powers now since he gave it to everybody else, while Dick Grayson is in the darkness. They're talking about whether or not you should let it all in or whatever. When Slade decides he's had enough and he's going to murder Black Adam and the rest of the children, his own daughter and Dick Grayson, because yeah, that's fatherly love for you right there. Before he could bring down the death blow, whoa, lo and behold, Nightwing gains control of the darkness and starts to use the black chain things to beat the crap out of Slade. Yep. And then when Slade is all, I don't want don't any of you see why I did this? I don't want what happened to my children to happen to your children. No one should ever know that pain. I'd rather the whole world burn instead. But if this is to me the day I die, legacy dies with me. Yeah, there's a great bit of parenting advice for you people. If you don't want your children to suffer, burn the entire world. So that'll make them. No, don't fix the situation. Let's burn the entire world. And then of course Rose jumps in. You're done, father. You need help. Please trust me. Yeah, that's it. That stops him. Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, Master Assassin, Plague of the Titans, and the Justice League, and many others, considered to be one of the most deadliest individuals on the face of the earth, and he gets stopped by a good talking to from his daughter. So this entire thing has just been an absolute waste, and that's it. That's the end of it. That's the end of this big whole dark crisis on Infinite Earth's rubbish. That's it. Yeah. And after that, now, sun comes out. All is right with the world, apparently. Families reunited. The heroes who started it all return. The young celebrated. They didn't know any blasted thing was still celebrating. Dr. Light is out there. Justice League Incarnate are still doing what the hell they had to do. Oliver Queen is lost, but nobody's ever lost for long. So Darkseid returned to Apocalypse. Could have killed them all, but no, for some reason that's thing. Slade, however, had his body ravaged by the darkness, and he lost his powers, and the serum gave him, so he's alive, but he's in constant pain, and have him in some thing to keep the pain at bay. Although somebody turns it off because they could care less. Zatanna and the rest of them are back, and all of this. Not a nice face for thing to make at all, but alright. They're talking about all the rookies helped hold down the fort while you and I found the justice. Well, Hal Jordan and Barry Allen talking about they have done hold down the fort while we were looking for. They didn't do a damn thing, no lie. They did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Black Adam shows up at the Hall of Justice, meets Superman and John Kent, gives them a little bit of a threat and so-called thank you. Then, here we get to the really stupid part of it. Really, really stupid part of it. Batman and Nightwing meet up and they're talking about something about some candle and some nonsense and thing. And then, you know, Bruce tells him that, you know, while he was fighting crime all alone in the darkness, that the light for him has always been Dick Grayson, and that he's really proud of him. And then he says about, oh, you know, it's time for a change. We'll rebuild the Hall of Justice to be a home for heroes, but it's time for a change. What about the Justice League? You ask him. That's just it. Listen to this nonsense. There is no Justice League. Now I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. They announced that they were going to be replacing the Justice League with Young. Like, it made no sense to me. And about we'll continue for a bit. He said about Batman says, after all we've been through, the League felt we needed time to rethink the Justice League. It needs more than just new members. It needs to find a new mission, a new legacy. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? How many times have all of you died? Really, how many times have all of you literally died? How many times have you all, you know, been through some of the worst imaginable shit you could think of and actually had to bounce back from it? How many times has the Justice League broken up and come back together? But no, he continues on. But if anyone is going to lead all of us into the future, it's going to be you. Yeah. So Nightwing, who literally didn't want to do anything in Dark Crisis at the start, only came in like about issue 5 or something, so when he should have been leading from the front, and so and you know, there's enough room in DC for all the heroes, Justice League, Titans, everybody, whatnot. No, you built him up as some great big leader, protector, did nothing with him, absolutely nothing with him, and now you're just expecting us to believe, okay, he is going to lead some new fangled Justice League something or another. Yeah. But that's not the complete end of it. We have a little epilogue at the end here, where apparently some mysterious person is meeting with the Light, because apparently the Light are a thing now in DC. Yeah. Talking about how they meet how they wanted to propose an opportunity to work with the heroes, but that there's too many dangers, and the heroes need to be locked up because they could pose a danger to everybody, and that none of the Justice League have been resurrected. They've beaten death, even though they were never actually dead to begin with, but whatever. So the Light, however, doesn't want to work with the Justice League or any of the heroes or anything, so they reject that proposal, but they decided to let the mysterious individual use all the resources that they have at hand to completely eradicate every metahuman from the face of the earth. And who is this mysterious person? Amanda Waller. So apparently the Suicide Squad is now going to be out to annihilate every metahuman out there for some god-awful reason, and this is going to be continued in 2023. Yeah, because they're setting up for dawn of the DCU, which already sounds like a complete and utter waste of everyone's time. So that's it, people. That's it. It was never an event. It began stupidly, but it never really began. That's the thing about it. It never really began. But apparently we've reached issue 7, and it's still as dotish as ever. And all of this is just done to set up for dawn of the DCEU or DCU or whatever. And it's not going to be anything, because what we've gotten out of it, I've done a video on that, is not promising at all. This has just been a complete and utter embarrassment, and I don't think anybody who said that they've actually been through this, if you haven't read it, good for you. I unfortunately had to, so I could do this review for you all, but it's just been a waste. All these events that go nowhere are just pathetic. And your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.